Hello there everyone, I'm back from quite a long break and I'm back with a brand new free printable for you, and with that free design you can make these beautiful paper beads. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make these beads from the free printable, but I'm also going to show you how you can seal the beads without smudging the design, because quite often when you print your designs onto paper on an inkjet printer rather than a laser printer, quite often when you use a wet sealer, sometimes the ink can smudge if you're not really careful. So in this video I'm going to show you one of the tricks that I use to seal my inkjet printed beads so that they don't smudge, but they do look really shiny and lovely. So I printed my design off onto glossy photo paper. You can print yours off onto whatever you want. These beads will look glossy, of course, if you've printed them onto glossy paper, but they're still going to need to be sealed. Okay, so go over to www.funcraftstodoathome.com to get your free printable. There'll also be a link in the description below. And then once you've printed it off, you need to take a metal ruler and a scalpel or craft knife and then cut your strips out. You can do it with scissors, but I prefer using a craft knife for speed. And I do cut the black lines off mine, which is why I am making sure that the black line is to the right of the cut. It's just easier to see the lines. So there's mine all cut out and ready to roll. And this is what they're going to look like once they're rolled. I've put them all on a skewer here so that you can see them easily. And you can see there's one there that I haven't quite glued down properly, but you do need to make sure that you put enough glue on the ends to hold them firm. So that's what they look like when they're not sealed. So this is just on the glossy photo paper, that's why they look shiny. But as I said, I am going to show you how you can seal these without smudging the inkjet print. Because the bracelet that I showed you at the start of this video, I made that before I'd actually sealed the beads. But then I did take it apart again and seal the beads using the method that I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, so there's all my strips, and now I need to colour the sides. Everyone that watches this channel will know I always colour the sides of my strips, because if you don't, you're going to get white ends. The sides of the beads are going to be white, which is fine if you don't mind that, but I prefer to colour mine in an appropriate colour. And yeah, you could colour them afterwards, but it's just a lot easier to do it first. And then I also colour about an inch of the end where I'm going to start rolling so that I don't get a white core hole. Yeah, and do try to use a marker that's not running out. And of course you're going to need a glue stick. I use solid glue because I can't be bothered to wait for wet glue to dry. Give it a good coating all the way up to the end. And then you're going to need a bead tool. Now, I don't sell bead tools anymore, but if you look in the top right hand corner of this video, I will leave a link to a video that I made in which I show you how to easily make your own bead tool. You really don't need to buy one, you only need the pin at the very least, and I do tell you where you can buy those pins. You can get them on Amazon. I'll also leave a link below in the description to the blog post that I wrote about how to make your own bead tools. But watch the video because you will see how easy it is to do that. Okay, so there's my first bead. Very easy. They do look really pretty. But like I said, make sure you put enough glue on to seal those ends really well. Okay, so that top bead I've sealed with the method that I'm going to show you in a moment. The bottom bead is just shiny from the photographic paper, so you can see there's quite a big difference. And that top bead is coated really beautifully. So this is the trick that I use. You need an embossing stamp pad in clear ink. You need a round wooden skewer like a kebab stick so you can easily run the bead across the stamp pad, and you need to push it down really well into the foam so that you get the ink on the ends of the beads as well. And then you need some clear embossing powder like this. Leave the bead on the end of the kebab stick and then plunge it right into the embossing powder, right in so the whole thing gets covered, and then tap the excess off. And once you've done that, you can use your heat embossing tool to melt the powder and give you a lovely shiny finish without any risk of the colours in the inkjet printed bead bleeding or running. So I'm now about to melt the powder on my first bead here. It's quite difficult to show the exact angle and distance away from the bead that you need to have the heat embossing tool when I'm doing this on camera. You must make sure you don't have the heat too close to the bead, but you need it close enough that it's going to melt that powder. And obviously you need to protect your fingers, and you can only use a heat embossing tool to melt the powder. I mean, I'm sure I've seen some people that have held a flat iron close to the powder, but I personally wouldn't, just get yourself a heat embossing tool. They're not that expensive. And then when mine are done, I just leave them on the end of kebab sticks like this to fully harden. And then once they're fully dry, this is what they sound like. You can hear they've got a different quality to them to when they're just glossy photo paper. So I really do recommend this method of sealing your inkjet printed paper beads. It is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, if you want to make these beads, go over to www.funcraftstodoathome.com, link in the description below, grab your free printable and follow this tutorial. It's very, very easy. And if you want more free printables, go over and subscribe on my blog, and also subscribe here, because if you go over to my blog you can find all my previous free printables, because I never take them down. There's loads over there. And if you subscribe here, you know about my new videos as they come out, and obviously you will find out about the new free printables as well. So that's about all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this far, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, and also please hit the hype button if you see this within the first 7 days of publication. It will really help the channel a lot, and it will bring the videos to a wider audience. Thank you so much. Take care and see you again soon. Bye.